Clown, and guess what? It has been a hot minute since I have developed Game X. I've been working on concept art. Matter of fact, if you pop through my Twitter feed, you will see that I posted some concept art of the protagonist making his way into the town, and it's the only settlement he's seen in the 2 or 3 days since he escaped the escape pod. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It kind of sets the tone. And, well, development since then has moved over to my PS3. Now, since there's no real way to have RetroPie communicate all of the files over to the PS3 in a stable way, I had to hard code everything back in. So as I was going through, I also had the opportunity to clean up a bunch of shit. Still got some cutscenes I'm going to have to rework, and on top of that I was going to do like individual biomes, but at this point it's going to kind of take a back seat. The biomes were the original intent, but as we go further into the facility, the research facility, we're going to start to discover that new experiments have been getting taken over, and I've decided to opt out of random encounters. Not going to be doing them, so not even in like certain areas. So it's going to be all premeditated, and it's going to be pretty sweet, and I'm super excited to get back in here and show you guys what I've been up to. So without any further ado, we'll pop in and see what's going on. Hope y'all having a good weekend. I sure am. I got totally messed up last night. I didn't mean to. Bought myself a big ass jug of Mississippi Mud, and I was drinking on that, and then I moved over to a whole fucking bottle of sake. I think I had like a session in there at some point too, but I got messed up. Didn't mean to get that tanked. Oh yeah, we gotta load the data. Now I'm up to 7 slots for those keeping track at home. That's the reason I had to move development from the RetroPie to the PS3, because there's no real way to swap memory cards out on RetroPie. I should have thought about that in the start, unless you do like some weird wonky shit from the back end, and I was just not into it. I want to try to keep this as original as possible, so this will still give me the opportunity to create, let me think about this. This will still give me the opportunity to create physical as well as digital copies of the game. Really super simple to translate what I'm saving here on this memory card onto like an online platform, say, for download. People check it out. There's also going to be a few people that I'm going to be distributing physical copies to, so I think I got about 5 or 6 people in mind for that. So that's going to be pretty sweet. Okay, so we got everything going here, and I got to get myself reacquainted. Give me a second. So I've been doing some experimental stuff, because as we go through... See, I don't even know if I'm going to stick with the traditional RPG arcade thing that I had going on in the beginning. Don't know if I'm going to go with that still, but it's in the back of my head. And then we got all these characters here, and I've even written down everything in regards to development of RPG, to this RPG Maker development in this notebook. So this is like all of my stat sheets, the blah blah blah. I know I got something else around here. Ah, yeah, here we go. I also got this composition book. So this provides all of the backstory to the characters themselves. I got to get myself reacquainted. So there's going to be some, you know, like ghostly shapes and shit like that. They're going to be popping up, and they're all going to have their own backstories. We got the lead researcher, Thaddeus Smith. That's going to be, he's going to figure in very well. You're going to find out that a lot of these people are actual shit folks. So the, I guess you could say it's like big corporation flexing their muscles. They're, oh, look at me, I got all the fucking money. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and fuck you. Well, yeah, this is what happens when capitalism just goes absolutely unchecked. You know, this is just being a douchebag. But we got head of security. That guy's name is Jackson something or other. I think it's Smith. But let me jump down through here. I don't think I created him. Oh yeah, I did right here. Alright, cool. Alright. See, because I might be developing some cutscenes, so it's important that I know who these guys are. See, we got Ted Capers. He's probably one of the only good guys in here, but just like a lot of good guys, quote unquote, people walk on them, especially like shark ass motherfuckers. But then we got Reese Russo. So this would be like your standard mom figure who's very passionate about science, but is anxious to complete this project in order to return home. So it's just all their stories come together, and sometimes to disastrous results. Let's jump into the events here, see what I got. So right now, I've got the town set up pretty good. I should probably do a start point. I was actually going to do something here, something in regards to the end game, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. Let me take a peek. Oh yeah, and for the folks who aren't aware, I will be doing multiple endings, so that's also going to be awesome. Alright, I'm going to set the start point here, so that way I can get reacquainted with everything. Let's jump into intro event. Alright, so default color quick. Now I have to do that whenever the transitions, the way that I have them set up. It's your standard issue zone in, or zone out, zone in. With sound effects, everything else, a la Silent Hill, Resident Evil. Not so much Resident Evil, though. Oh yeah, these can all go away. I set these up to help me out when I was trying to test out this area here. There's certain items that you need in order to trigger one of the endings. So I put those items right there just kind of as a temporary placeholder so I could test everything. I moved the fountain right here because I thought that would be a neat little touch. One of the things you see in the beginning. And these... Oh, no. We're going to cancel. I got to pop back in there and delete the time events, though. Or treasure events, excuse me. Alright, so we'll get out of the cut mode. We'll jump in here, and I just opted for red doors. I think those look pretty slick. And then the well's right there still, and then right here is the research facility. I've been creating some custom pixel art using the anime maker that's on this disc. And that's going to serve as a notice. You'll be seeing some of those lying around talking about shit. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so in that case I created something of my own. But unfortunately those all take up one block, and I have a feeling that Game X, by the time I'm getting towards the end, is going to be probably about 2 cards length. So probably close to 30 individual slots. I got all of the characters now, unless I wanted to create something totally custom. I will be kind of doing a mishmash of that, where I'm still going to be using the same sprite that I've been using for the main protagonist, but the big unveil is going to be a custom graphic that's going to pretty much smash a new head on top of that and tie all of the cutscenes together, and it's just going to be like, whoa, holy shit. So let's go ahead and just test play this. I mean, it's been a while since I've been in here, I'm not going to lie. I've been working on a bunch of other shit. I've got a couple of jobs. Oh yeah, I did change this for the folks who weren't aware. I moved away from the standard space guy, and I got this guy. He's a custom. So yeah, we got this here. I haven't set up the intro events. I should probably plug that back in. But I didn't want to have to go through it every time either, if that makes sense. I need to pull up my Switch chart here. Elevator up. Intro event number... Okay, so Switch number 10. I don't even know if I have a Switch number 10 set anywhere else. And that's the problem, the bitch with the Switch system, and that's why I gotta write it down. Because when you need to turn something on or off, it could jack up other events and cause unintended bugs, and I hate that shit. Okay, cool, so I got that going. Can't get into the bar right now, so let's jump into here. I really like that transition scene. And I did add things that you can find like in buckets and shit, a la Final Fantasy VI. Trail mix. So we got trail mix. And then we got all this shit here. Picture of little girl. So this is all a Switch system that I had to do. Men's and women's clothing. What's this? Ooh, a Kevlar vest. I totally forgot that I put that there. Wow, okay. So even though we're going to be... okay, so that jumped up our defense pretty awesomely. As a guard plus 10. I might end up fixing that later. Oh, shit. JD McFly. How's it going, dude? But, yeah, I just started this. You didn't really miss much. I'm going through right now trying to get a feel for where I'm at, and then that way I can go in and I can start adding shit and see where we're going. I'm doing good, man. It's been a minute since I streamed. I'm like, God damn it. I really been wanting to stream the last couple of weeks, but to be honest, I've been just totally blowed out. I got 2 or 3 jobs I'm working these days, and I'm just fucking run through. Okay, there's a locket. So this is going to be one of the items, whether you pick this up or not, is going to affect the ending. And I have a feeling like a lot of folks might miss it when it finally gets out to it. And you even have the opportunity to sell it later. I do have the break room still set up, but in that case, I have it set up like a like an item shop. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too, man. It's been a minute. Kids' clothing, 11, 12-year-old girls, dusty children's books line the shelves. Let's read this book, eh? Daddy came home sad yesterday. I've been sad too. I miss Mommy, and I think he does too. Not even the picture of me smiling seems to help anymore. I hope we both feel better soon. I don't think I can have any more tears. I don't think I have any more tears to cry. Here's to be the last entry. No date was included. A picture? Yep. This picture is jutting out slightly. You found card key A, so that's important. That's how you access the lab. So that's kind of like your general access. I think I'm going to have upwards of like 2 or 3 key cards that'll access other high security areas. I might go like lab, you know, like the deep research shit, and then like later on you end up fighting a guy who was a former researcher, and thus gain access to the deeper levels. And I didn't put an item in there. I think in that case I was going to put some type of weapon for him. That's the idea anyway, I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Alright, what else do we got here? Hey, this looks like a fancy place. We found more trail mix. Ancient looking cobwebs cover the firewood. This fireplace hasn't been used in a long time. Now, I don't know if I liked the format of that book. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. Alright, complex scientific journals crowd the shelves. Logs number 76. That dunce security guard did it again. I was locked in the test chamber for 2 hours because the stupid dolt forgot his card key. Were it not for the substantial settlement granted by the corporation, I'd not only request an immediate transfer off this rock, but also the shriveled testicles of our little guard friend, too. How can I be expected to get any work done in these conditions? Going forward, that moron better stay far away from me, or else. I'm a fan of trail mix, too, man. You gotta think like a fucking astronaut, though. You know, like, what do outer space folks like to eat? You know, they gotta get their nutrients right, they gotta get their proteins and their sugars. Trail mix just kind of fits the bill best. You know, that's why you hear about like hikers and shit with Ola mix. Oh yeah, this is still intact. So since everybody is dead or gone or whatever, these buildings still serve their functions, but they have items that replace functions that people would do. So normally in a traditional RPG, you walk in here, you talk to somebody like, hey, it's whatever gil per night, you know, yes, no, stay, maybe so. But yeah, this case, you get your fill right here, and this is your save book. Empty world where all journals end abruptly. Let's hope mine carries on. Yep, and you can save here if you like. And it does that sweet sound effect too. I mean, a lot of work goes into creating the atmosphere of an isolated world, and that's all I've been trying to do. Trying to project the sense that, yes, this guy is by himself, and I need to fix that down thing where you don't have to check it in order to exit. You just have to step on the square. But let's go ahead and read this shit. Restricted area, authorized personnel only. Alright, and what's this? Warning, trespassers will be shot on sight. Thanks, JD. Appreciate it, man. But we got the card key, so we should be able to get in. Access granted. Here's where it gets scary. See, this, I kinda... Wow, what is this place? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like a scan thing. I'm going to write notes down for what I need to do as I see it. So, number 1, change door check system while in building. Because that could be kind of jarring. I mean, the way that it's set up is it would be kind of confusing, so people just end up standing there like a dumbass being like, I can't go out. No one would really think to hit the action button to exit. But yeah, I think I'm going to change that. And in other engines, it probably wouldn't matter, because it'd be more obvious. But the way that this is all set up, oh, Christmas miracle, and it's the Wiz. How's it going, man? I haven't streamed any Game X development in a long time, so like, it's been time. I've been meaning to get in here and show you guys what's up. And if this room looks different, it is. I actually made it like this for a reason. It's a big imposing building, and it's got deep dark secrets below, so you got to have that clinical cold feel. Alright, we'll pop in here. Oh, I didn't have a treasure event set up for this. I did before where he's like, oh my god, what the hell? And then I think I'm going to add some music here. Let's see. Maybe like some creepy one-time music. Add background music to Triage. That's what this place is called, by the way. It's Triage. Oh yeah, I've been doing good, dude. Like, I've been just working my ass off. I got my day job, and then I also have another job that I work from home. So like, I do some SEO shit, like for this my old trainer's company. He was my trainer at another job that we had in common, and then years later starts his own place. Gives me a ring about, hey, you want to come work down for me? And I'm like, yeah. So it's pretty good, but I mean, it's not full time. But it is doing what I do, and I can do it from home or anywhere, wherever I got a computer, so that's pretty awesome. I don't feel like checking this out. That is a shout out to the original Silent Hill. Whenever Harry would come across a body laying on a gurney, he'd say something like, I really don't feel like checking this out. So yeah, we got bodies out everywhere. What's this shit? In case of power outage or fire, please use stairs. Now that's going to factor in way later in the game as we start approaching the end. This door right here is locked. So, I mean, that's also going to factor in as well. Oh, shit, and Kevin. How's it going, Kevin? Good to see ya. Dude, like, Game X. I forgot what I was doing so hard that I actually have to go through and play this again and take notes down of some of the things that I need to do because development moved over to the PS3. Some shit made it, some didn't. I don't even know if I set up this event. Ooh. I don't know if I like that sound effect. Let's see. Change sliding door. Door sound effect. Okay. Kev, I don't know why Nightbot's getting in your face. Hang on, I'm gonna fix that, dude. That's messed up. Nah. Alright, Kev. Number one, that's silly. I had something enabled for excess caps, and I don't even know why I would enable that in the first place. That must have been something just Nightbot decides to put on there. And I got to the point where I've stripped down a lot of the other features that I had before. I removed commands, I removed a bunch of shit because we just need to get back to basics. And I don't stream as much as I used to. And then I started to realize that when you set up an obnoxious notification system and people are just subbing left and right, then pretty soon all of your stream, like 90% of your stream, is composed of you doing shoutouts and doing like fan lip service, which I don't like. I mean, It's about the game. It's about hanging out with you guys, and that's all that really mattered to me. So at the end of the day, I decided, you know what, fuck this. We're just okay. I don't think I said okay. I didn't think I set up that. So set up treasure event in Nurse's Station. So this is actually a very important plot point and one of the scarier elements of the game, where you get attacked by an unseen force. It always seems like the lights go out whenever these creatures attack you. So it's almost like a honey trap, where obviously the lights are on right now, right? But then as you go further the facility, lights are going to go out and everything else, and it's going to be freaky. And over here was like a diary of some kind. So let's see. Re-add diary entry in Nurse Station. So there's a lot of important elements that go in this room, and I haven't set them up yet. Uh-oh, I can't even exit. Fuck. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go back to test plane, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the... I'm going to put myself in the lab. This is the very real reality of making a game. Bugs drive me nuts, okay? Like, I can't hang with them. What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to put myself in the lab. So we can't get out of lab triage, so I got to re-add that door. Okay, re-add exit to or from Nurse's Station. So I still got I got a director's office. I can't wait to show you guys that one. I also got a meeting room. There's going to be a lot of plot shit that happens in there. For anyone who's played the original Silent Hill, should remember those rooms when they walk into the Alchemia Hospital for the first time. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, Wiz, I had never really, like, everything that I ever made with RPG Maker was standard fare. Like, I made an interactive birthday card for my little brother. I did a lot of shit, but I've never completed a full game. The Gobley game that's on here preloaded, that one's pretty sweet and shows, the basic battle system and everything that's possible. But people who've played with this that are like miles ahead of me have created custom battle systems. They've created super intricate dungeons, and they've just made beautiful games out of it. I don't know if I could ever hope to approach to that, because I'm stripping out a bunch of the shit that makes traditional RPGs traditional. No fucking random encounters, because we just need to drop that. It's going to be more along the lines of a survival horror RPG where you get upgrades and level up and shit like that, but it's not going to include random encounters. So it's kind of like Sweet Home, but then not really. So that's going to be fun, adding shit in here. There's going to be jump scares, and there's going to be a bunch of shit. Did I set the start event? I don't think I did. Let's get back to triage. We'll set our start point here. So look at the odd placement that I had to do on this. This is the way Anime Maker works. I had to create the notice in the upper part of the box, and then when I put it here, it more or less hovers around this zone. Yeah, it's really strange. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I made that myself using the Anime Maker. Alright. Okay. So it's funny that Nightbot does the it does its shit where it blocks people or warns them or times them out using holiday nomenclature. So it's like, you're on my naughty list. How appropriate. It's fucking December. That's crazy. Wonder if there was a scene in PS1 modern times like yeah, popular there. Yeah, no shit. Now, the way that it goes now is I'm going to be distributing this game digitally. You won't have to pay anything for it. It's kind of pay what you want type thing. So if people wanted to throw me a few bucks, they can. It's not necessary. So I'm going to get that all going. And I'm going to send out probably upwards of 5 hard copies. So that's a copy of RPG Maker and memory cards to certain folks for them to play. Daria's on that list. I talked with her a while back. She said she'd be interested in playing it. What else? Let's go do a test play, eh? Mad Father makes an interesting horror concept. Mad Father, so that's an RPG Maker game? I set the start point in the triage, bitch. Get your shits together. Okay, here we go. So we're back here in the bodies of the room. Keycard A should access this elevator. Now this should work right. This is something that gave me a major headache first time around. Oh my god, I could not figure out for the life of me. It's all regards to swapping out shit. Okay, so there's another thing I need to fix. Orange elevator doors. Access denied. Gotta have keycard B for that one. Cool. This might crap out again, so before I go in those doors, I don't know if I connected them yet. These should be good, because this is the meeting room and the director's office. Something horrific happened in here. But, yep, this is the director's office. Engine to make an atmospheric item hunt style game. Wow, okay. Yeah, you can make anything with RPG Maker. You don't have to make an RPG. Shit, I mean, I made a fucking birthday card for my little brother. It didn't use any of the battle systems, anything else. It was literally like an item finding exploration minigame. Lasted about 5 or 10 minutes. Wasn't really big at all. And this is the meeting room. So very, creep-tastic. I could set chairs here if I really wanted to, but I don't like the fact that you can't rotate them. So it would be all chairs, all facing down. Like, I can't face chairs facing up. That's fucking stupid. But I think it'd be funny if I created some type of like corporate friendly poster back here, like "We own you" or whatever. I think that would be hilarious. I actually got a very big distaste for corporations and some of the protections they give, but don't get me started on that shit. This is about a game. Blah 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 blah. I don't know if I change these up, so prepare for limbo. So now we're in the dark. Just kind of exploring around. So I didn't set anything there. So now that we know that that's all there, I don't think I set up any other cutscene events or whatever, but let me put us in here real quick and we'll see what's working and what's not. Alright, go ahead, start. Boom. Okay, so we got the note down for the elevator door. We'll be fixing that. Now, I did have like bedroom areas that I had set up for the folks here, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of empty rooms. I like every room to have a purpose. So, you know, a lot of the early RPGs, especially Final Fantasy 1, there would just be these massive sprawling rooms. And absolutely nothing in there to find, pick up. There's no reward for doing that. And if you noticed in later titles, they started eliminating that. So they wanted to make the spaces more interactive, more lively, and you can't do that when it's just a big open fucking empty space. So I don't think I have anything set up here for those rooms to go to. Let me check out the other two doors. I think I've been focusing on the right side of this, and I was going to set up another diary there. So remember, nobody's here, so the only thing that's left is their notes. Let's add diary to desk and lab B1, because we're B1. I think I might go down about 5 or 6 levels, so it's going to have kind of a sort of Fargo feel to it in regards to that. You just go deeper into the facility, you have no idea how long it goes, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so far none of those doors go anywhere. I think this end one here might lead to the arcade, but I think I didn't add that one in. I think I might add another type of minigame. The currency in this game is tickets. So in tickets, you can use that in and get items. So I might create like a break room type thing. Let's jump over here to dungeons, though. Let's see if I kept anything. Ah, Okay, there's absolutely nothing. I have not created the break room. Weapon shop, okay, that's the one up there. So we need to add weapon to weapon shop while I'm thinking about it. Add weapon shop. I think I do have a weapon already designed. Everything possible in here, from healing items to weapons, armor, whatever, is located in the items menu. I deleted something here and I can't remember what the fuck it was. But let's see, we got a knife. Okay, so I think I'm going to add the knife to that. So, knife. Good entry weapon, right? Swiss Army knife, they say you can do anything with it, so fuck it. Lock it. Yes, you can sell for 5,000 tickets if you like. And machete, that's one later. It's going to be kind of macabre the way that you find it, but it's going to be pretty awesome too. And then we got gasoline. I don't know if I'm going to keep that though. I think the gasoline... Oh yeah, that's going to factor into the last event. So we have the locket up there, which I told you contributes to whether you get one of the endings or not. And then we got here the gasoline and the matches, which are going to be used on that bridge that got us in here in the first place. So after all the subsequent switches and everything, you got that shit, and then everything's all breaking loose and all hell's fucking over everything. You'll be running out, go over the bridge. Then you set it on fire and you save the day. And then we got a rusty pipe. I think that one I'm going to put in a defunct laboratory because all of the old experiments have been taken over by this alien race or whatever the fuck it is. I think it's going to be like a bug race type thing, so kind of like Starship Troopers. There's a lot of shout outs to some of my favorite genres in here, so I mean, like, and different franchises. Starship Troopers, fucking Silent Hill, Resident Evil. I don't think I got anything set up here. Nope, because we're not doing random encounters, because that's what that's all about. So we got dungeons to make. We've got an item shop complete. So let's go ahead and create a break room, shall we? So you can also do samples, and I found some really decent ones here within Sci-Fi. So there's that, and I might actually use some of these as we get later in, like this right here. I mean, that actually looks pretty sweet. And then, yeah, we already saw that shit, and then we saw that shit. Okay. But for now, let's go ahead and create our break room. Alright, we were sticking with the robotic wall theme. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, here we are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And don't ask me why, but I really appreciate even numbers, and I like everything to be feng shui, you know, like it has to make sense. And well, since this is a heartless corporation, we're going to make the break room as sanitized and unfun as possible. So we're going to make it really small. So if I was a heartless dictator fucking corporate guy, this is the type of break room I'd make for my folks. No, not parts, you dummy. See, if I do an 11, then we create this really tiny space that nobody would ever want to hang out in. Yeah, we could even make the floors uninviting, but nah, we're going to stick with the tiles for now. I might change this later. Okay, so there's our break room. So now, I might put one of those notices in there. I've seen some really shitty passive-aggressive notes at my own job that'll say shit like, if your stuff isn't dated or labeled, it's going to be thrown out. No drinks in the fridge. I mean, like, it's just fucking 20 rules on the refrigerator. It's stupid. So I was like, okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm valued. I feel like my company loves me. But yeah, the wrong people are running this shit show. And that's why they're all gone. That's why they've all disappeared. Because we all hope and wish that the assholes in our life would get their comeuppance, and this is exactly what it's all about. I mean, that's what I've always fantasized about. When I was back in my nerdy times, that's exactly what I used to think about. Okay, so we're going to do a sad little table right here. See, there you go. And then, over here we'll add our, I was going to add a robot. That's what I did the last time around. So it's like an automated robot thing, and it's going to function as the item dispensary, where you can take your hard-earned tickets and you can buy stuff. But I don't know. I mean, the more that I think about it, I mean, it's not really in line with some of the survival horror that I have been seeing, so I might drop the ticket system entirely. But I wanted to create like a risk where, okay, you decide to sell the locket because it gives you like a crazy amount of tickets, right? Well, if you do, you just change the ending, sucker. Yeah, it is weird you're not able to rotate stuff, but again, this is a console release. I mean, they tentatively decided to release this in the United States as RPG Maker 1, but this is technically RPG Maker 3. So if we're not doing tickets, maybe I can do it kind of like as items that you find. I don't know, man. Because in a survival horror, once you kill something, it usually stays dead, and sometimes stronger monsters will respawn in later. So I don't know if I can really make the ticket system fly. Maybe I could do like a, maybe you can win shit at the ticket machine. I don't know. Or like create a mini game where you win tickets. I'm kind of discouraged right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to name this break room, and we'll return to that later. I'm going to stew on that one for a minute. I don't want to get stuck in a rut either. I want to keep moving. So let's do the shit that we wrote down, shall we? Change door checks system while in building. Okay, so yeah, we got a lot to do there. See, some of the other buildings, they don't all function like that. I'd like for them all to function the same way. I want there to be repetition. Something you can trust. Okay, so from top, we'll go do a touch. So when you're in a building, it would only make sense when you're walking out, that you, from the top, touch that, you go out. No problems, right? So that is what we'll do. Okay, house 2, same shit. From top, touch. I will update that. Then, clinic. What the hell I was smoking when I did that? Don't remember. Yeah, we got to add that back, so while we're in here, we'll go do that too. Alright, so from the top, good to go. So we're going to do the sound effect. I had a list of sound effects I was using. Give me a second here. Guess not. Maybe it's in this book. I got my shit strewn out over 2 notebooks. And so far I'm up to like 5 different endings on that too. I will not be live streaming the development of those endings because talk about spoilers. It literally ties everything together. Okay, I got my character bios. Now I don't think I added any spoilers in that, so maybe at some point I'll read those to you guys, kind of let you know about the characters and background and how they interact with each other. Okay, so I got items here. Leather helm. Now I'm still on the fence if I'm going to include the game with Kal-El, the elf warrioress that's going to be in the forest and be more like a traditional RPG. I don't know. I just thought it'd be a gas to create a game within a game that's a traditional RPG. I just thought that'd be funny, but I don't know. Could be a good way to incorporate the whole ticket thing. That would be cool. So like in Pojo's, you know, back when those guys were still around, bang, and they got ticket machines or like games that you play and they spit out a fuckload of tickets, and you know, maybe for like 20,000 of them you can get yourself a little, like, I don't know, My Arcade that costs like 20-30 bucks at Target. Okay, so I got maps here. I had to draw maps of everything, because as I was moving development over to the PS3, I needed to get dimensions, I needed to get all types of shit in here. Okay, bookcase chair. I got the rec room right there in the event that I want to do it again. I'm going to sit on that one for a bit, though. I don't have the sound effects listed. So we got to find a sound effect that would work really well with opening a treasure chest. There was like this dingity ding sound. I think it might be towards the high end here, though. There it is. Okay, and a fun little touch I'm going to be doing as we progress further into the dungeon is I'm going to have this sound effect get lower and lower, because as things get more morbid and disgusting for our hero, like, yeah, it's going to be crazy. Okay. You now have and we're going to capitalize this, because that's always been a neat little naming convention, you know, like they capitalize and make proper the item that you find. So I've always appreciated that touch. Alright, we'll do that, and then we will do the add the item, blah blah blah. Alright, here we go. Knife. Boom. Alright, so that's a one-time event. After that, the treasure chest remains open, and there you go. And nobody's in here either. I think I did have a, like a note or something here. I think I might put a notice here. Oh, it wasn't under object, it was a character. Yeah, see, these are all custom sprites that I pulled from Anime Maker. I got that one, I got that one. And then I also got that one. Yeah, so this is the head of security. This guy is a real asshole, as you'll find out later. But we'll have that facing down. Let's see here. We'll do permanently closed. Okay, I'm going to space these out. Probably right about here. Okay, permanently closed. I think maybe I want to add maybe like an exclamation point right here and another one at the beginning, kind of spaced similarly. Let's see, I think I like that. Permanently closed. Yeah, about right there should do the ticket. Okay, so take what you need. Children forgive us. We need to add that, like, ominous, like, hopefully I can fit all that shit on that last line. If it goes into the next one, I'm going to have to drop it down a little bit. Children forgive us. I think I should be good. Alright, good. So, in this case, you pop into the weapon shop, you're going to see this little notice hanging out, and we're going to do from below and check. Now, right there, it was from all in touch, so say that I wander into this square right here, it would automatically read it. So then I walk over here, do it again. Walk over here, go back it, do it again. Go down from here, do it again. Like, it would just loop, 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 loop. That's why it's so important to make sure you got all that set up. It may be a small little step, but it will save you heartache later. Okay, I was going to add a journal in here, but I don't think I'm going to. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like a bucket or something. Or a barrel. I think a barrel would be better. Which one's the barrel, though? So I've been really bad about uploading shit to YouTube, and a lot of that is because my editing computer is running out of space and fast. I actually have to pick up another hard drive. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this onto my external hard drive, and then I'm going to download it there, and then I'm going to morph it back onto the computer, and then I'm going to edit it. I actually use Shotcut, which is a free program you can get. The only downside to it is that it hogs up a lot of memory, so I get a lot of crashes and shit like that because it's on my computer that's starting to age rapidly. I remember back when I built it about 6 years ago, quad core was the hot shit, you know, especially when combined with an SSD drive, but now people laugh at my quad core. Like, I can't even run Doom 2016 on this one. It's like, it's out. So we're going to go ahead and from the left we'll do a check. Okay, there was an event back here in one of these houses that had the sound effect that I was using before. Okay, so that's for the locket. What about... Okay, so here we go. 24 and 13. I don't know. I mean, that would match kind of similar to what a Kevlar vest would sound like dragging it across the floor, I guess. But I need to get this more uniform. So when you find an item, it does a thing, and it makes the same sound. I don't know if I like that either. Okay, so we got to do from all. We got to do a check. I didn't realize that before, so that's all good to go now. And then from below, check. So this one was all set up, so that's pretty sweet. So we got a treasure vent in there. Okay, here's the clinic. I don't think I changed this one, so from top... Okay, yeah, touch. Okay, so I did fix that one. Okay, didn't change that one. Okay, so when switch 6 turns on and you get to this point and you morph into this bar, yeah, that's all going to make sense here in a minute, because I'm going to be setting up kind of like a research. On the RetroPie, I had this room all constructed. It's going to be like a research facility that you pop into, like a little mini one where they're performing animal experiments, and there's this portal that's inside it, and it morphs you inside the bar, and I got that whole thing set up, I'm fairly certain. Let me jump over here. Yeah, see, I've got this all set up. So this guy will pop on, and you end up getting into a battle. Stan Powers. So yeah, that's kind of a spoiler right there, but that's one of the characters who you see in a cutscene, and for some reason he just looks absolutely terrible right now. So that's going to factor in very much later on. Yeah, meeting room, break room. Okay, nurse's station. Okay. I need to set this up now while I'm thinking about it. I need to go somewhere where everything is set up properly. I got to steal the code from these doors. Alright, so change event. We don't have to change an event graphic. All we need to do is do the sound and the color change. So there's that. And now that might change later because I also wanted to change the sound effects for the doors. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So here we are at triage. We need to get to nurse's station. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and move location to... Alright, triage. I'm going to put it right here. Alright, cool. Okay, so I saw something interesting back there. Remember the event that there was a switch that switches on when you find that letter, and then the lights go out and you get attacked by the unseen enemy, right? Well, it looks like I got everything set up there for switches, which would mean all the hard code and everything that I brought over from RetroPie is all put in there. It just needs to be tied together. So let's go and take a look at this. If you wonder why there's a bucket right there, that's because it's kind of a funny thing. If you try to check it, no way am I getting on that bed. So yeah, if you try to be a crazy ass and get on the bed, the guy's going to stop you. And then, okay, I didn't set the page conditions for how the blood appears. It's just on page 2. So I think at this point we need to set up the treasure event that enables the switch, and then, yeah, we should be good. Okay, nurse's station should be good to go. Okay, now we need to fill in this box and we need to show everybody what's up. I'm going to see, display screen, display message. Let's go ahead and change the screen. Okay, we'll do quick. Okay, before we do that, I need to see what I've been sticking with for the houses. So when you read this journal, let's see, sound effect, change event graphic. Okay, and then it changes to 3 slow. I don't know if I even want to go that deep either. Maybe we could bop this up a few values. Yeah, I think that's good. How about 6? Alright, and then we'll go do it quick. So I think I like that a lot better. I didn't like how many dashes I had to use when I used that certain type of message system. Might change that later, or I might just retype the shit. Let's see. Nurse's station. I'm losing focus here, guys. Like, someone needs to reach through and slap me in the face and I start drifting away. Okay, so check that out, and then it's going to be a letter. So if we do a normal message, it's not kind of what I'm going for. Since we're going to be reading a letter, I think I like the scrolling thing better. I don't know about for the journal entries. I might go back to that. For now, let's stick with this. Alright. So it's really important that I get the names of this right. Let's see. So we're going to do a 2. So the director, I forgot who the director is. So let's pull up here. So lead researcher, well-funded, Okay, so we're going to address this to Dr. Thaddeus Smith. So as we go through and I start constructing the cutscenes, you're going to discover how shitty Dr. Thaddeus Smith really is. Okay, need to go down 1. Okay, here we go. So you know what I was doing a couple nights ago? I decided to watch Christine again for the first time in a few years, and I forgot how good that movie is. Good 80s camp. I mean, it's got... I think it might even be late 70s. I can't remember. But it's really fun. I love that movie so much. Alright, and now we're going to have this sent from the... so Dr. Thaddeus Smith, he's the lead researcher guy. And we are going to send this... Well, actually, I think I was going to send this to Ted Capers. Because he's the director. So, yeah, Ted Capers. Okay, researcher. Reese Joplin Russo. So, Reese Joplin Russo is going to be the one that's sending this. I don't know if Ted's actually a doctor, but we're going to roll with that for now. Dr. Ted Capers. I've always liked the last name Capers. I think that's really cool. Let's go do space, 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 space. And then L1. Dr. Reese. I get her name mixed up. Joplin Russo. Can I even fit all that shit in here? Let's see. Fuck, 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 fuck. So we'll do Ted Capers. Let's do director Ted Capers. I think I'll feel better about that. Director. Alright, we'll go do a space here. And then got to jump back. L1. I'm one letter away. That's fucked up. Okay. I mean, I don't like that, but whatever. So now we're going to do like the standard issue, like if you're writing a letter to your boss, you know, you have to write like subject and shit like that. That's what we're going to do here. Because everything's super bureaucratic. Which I imagine it would be in regards to like anyone on a space station or doing any weird research. Corporations are going to own your ass like all the way through, which is kind of sad. But let's see, subject, lab contamination. Let's do contamination status, if I can fit that. Contamination. I think I'm going to be one fucking letter off. Damn it. 2. Okay. Let's do RE. Yeah, we'll do RE. I don't remember if we do complete capitalization. Nah, that looks better. So let's stick with that. I mean, for me, it's all really important that everything looks nice. Yeah, I don't want there to be any bullshit. We need to move this over down one line. Now, if you're wondering why I don't use the R1 commands you see up there in the top right, it's because it's a pain in the ass. I mean, no matter how you slice it up, finish, insert, paste, copy, it's a pain in the ass. I don't like, it's very unintuitive. Sometimes it's just better to do it the long way, and then that way it does what I want it to do. Alright, so contaminations, why did I put station? Status. The thing about Rene Russo that you got to know is that, or Reese Russo, excuse me. The thing you got to know about Reese Russo is that she's resourceful. She has to deal with assholes all the time, and she has a goal to get off the rock, complete her research, right? Very passionate about science, but also very empathetic. The only thing is, though, is that some of her bosses are not. I mean, we're talking about some real shitty assholes. But, let's see. The main break, or the break, or the breach in the atmospheric chamber I don't think I'm going to be able to fit atmospheric. So let's, the breach in the atmospheric. Alright, I'm 2 letters away. So we need a bot back up here. Atmospheric chamber. Has been stabilized. Now, if you're wondering why I'm, okay with doing this, some people have hacked it to the point where you can use a keyboard, which makes text much easier to put in because you're going to be using this a ton when you're developing games for RPG Maker PS1. I'm used to it. It's just a lot of whatever. It feels more interactive to me, so I'm cool with it. Atmospheric chamber has been stabilized. However, the facility is now let's see, operating. Okay, I need to move operating down another line. At only 10%. Okay, we're going to throw a period in. Operating at only 10%. As a result, much of our research I think I like most better. Much sounds silly. Let's see. Most of our current experiments have been compromised. Remember, these are smart people. They use big words. Been compromised. even worse. All staff members assigned. Okay. I don't know where the hell I was going with that. That was kind of weird. All assigned staff members. Okay. I think I'm going to do all assigned staff members. So I kind of wanted to add a slight elements of English in here. I guess it'd be emulated English since English is my first language. But yeah, I wanted to give like a little nod to that. So like 16-bit RPG styles. All assigned staff members. Have succumbed to an unknown illness. I don't know if I can fit unknown on there. Let's give it a shot. Nope, I'm going to do one off. Okay. Go down another line. Unknown illness. Okay, so let's see. Symptoms. This might appear as just one giant wall of text, so maybe I should break this up. Reach a however facility is now in terms of been all. Okay, this is where I'll add a break in the action. I mean, I wouldn't write anything like that naturally, so yeah. Even worse, all assigned. Yeah, so now I have to fix all this shit. Okay. And then we'll have to move succumb down one more. An unknown illness. Oh, and the other thing I should mention to you guys too is that 2018 I had to drop a lot of the themed streams that I used to do. You know, Summer Brutality. I did. There was the one for Halloween. A few other ones. I did do kind of one for Halloween, but it wasn't an official capacity. I played Clock Tower 3 from beginning to end. Because a lot of folks were playing it, and it was painful for me to watch, so I jumped in there to show them how it's done. But 2019, I'm going to bring back Summer Brutality, and I'm going to bring back all the other stream events I used to do. So Fright Fest will be coming back, and that's going to be pretty awesome. Let's see, symptoms include... So if you're going to be dying of some body rot shit, one thing that comes to mind is fever. It always seems to start with a fever. Let's see, fever. I don't know if I should do high fever or whatever, but we'll stick with fever for now. Let's see, fever, vomiting. Remember, Stan Powers didn't look too good. Okay, so fever, vomiting, and I forget what necrosis means. Hold up. I got my phone way over there. Because I wanted to, like, it's going to be like a skin rotting thing. And I think it's necrosis, but I'm not for sure. Hold up. Yuki. And I'm pretty sure it's necrosis. Death or injury due to lack of lizard. Aha! Okay, so yeah, necrosis. And it is all regional too, so let's see, necrosis. Let's see here, of the hands and feet. I mean, that's a bad way to go. You lose your hands and feet, then yeah, that's not good. Hands and feet. So we got to drop down another line. Hands and feet. So this might look funny. I might have to drop in another line when we finally do the whole reading thing, but we'll see what happens when we get there. I'm going to test the event, and then it's also going to kick off the other guy or the monster that's going to attack us in the dark. So I'm hoping maybe we can get this whole cutscene completed, because after you read this, then it's just going to kick off that event, and then you know a little something more. Currently, we have no way to reduce. No way to combat this. Unknown illness. We have no way to combat its own illness, and none of our treatments are effective. Effective, yeah. Effective. So that's one thing that I've always struggled with, is when to use affective and effective. Yeah, so in this case, effective. We're trying to make them better. Alright, got this here. Let's see, my suggestion. Radio for help. Okay, let's see here. Inform planetary. Okay, so if you're going to dispatch emergency services or request emergency services, I'm trying to figure out how you'd word that. Radio in additional support. additional support, and dispatch, or let's see here, and procure. More medical staff? Okay. I don't know. I don't like that. Let's get rid of it. My suggestion. Send in additional medical staff. Oh, I got totally rocked by a sinus infection a few days ago. Totally sucked. Send in additional medical personnel. Specializing in let's see here. Let's do skin disorders. And infectious diseases. If this seems longer than the original letter, that's because it is. Like, the last one was just more or less kind of as a placeholder to kick off the event, and then I was going to go in and fill it later. Alright, we need to write out diseases here before I jump up. Okay, so I'm going to move my suggestion down one line. Send in additional blah blah blah. This is all fucked up now. Specializing in skin disorders. Okay, that worked out. Okay, skin disorders and infectious diseases. I feel that their knowledge would prove invaluable and allowing not only fuck, I gotta go all the way over there. This is very unintuitive, guys. It's a lot of typing and it's a lot of horseshittery. And not only allowing, okay, not only treating affected staff members Okay. So I've been playing Final Fantasy VI recently, again, and I noticed that with one of the relics, I think it's like True Night, if you jump in there, it says meme burrs instead of members, so it's totally a typo, and I'm so glad that they kept the original intact. I mean, they even kept the Cell's torture scene intact too, which was edited out of the Game Boy Advance version, because I got that one too. Other than that, it's, you know, the Game Boy Advance version has some features that weren't seen in the SNES version, which I enjoy, and then some of the translation was changed up too. But either way, I'm so glad that I'm getting a chance to play the original Final Fantasy VI on my SNES Classic. And I heard that they dropped production on that too, so if you guys haven't scored yours yet, I suggest doing that now, because the scalpers are going to be coming out in force. Again. Fuck. Not only treating affected staff members, but allowing oh shit, I fucked up somewhere. It won't let me go any further. I can do 12 pages. I didn't even know. I'd never hit a limit on that. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut down the story a little bit on that. Okay, so I can par that down, that's fine. Doing so will allow our research to continue. Continue while delegating treatment space is becoming an issue, and I'm on page 12 again. Delegating treatment to a dedicated team. Okay, let's do thank you. Alright, so there's that, and there's a letter. Here's a letter. Which between not between ain't gonna fit there. There's between. I'm gonna do there. Here. Let's do there. Letter wedged between. Let's do sticking out. Out of the folders. Between the folders. Alright, so the whole point of this is that there's these nice people that are trying to bring about positive change. They're experiencing problems within the research facility. And then there's going to be the group of people who are only interested in money and will block every attempt that could put their money-making scheme in jeopardy, basically. So that's what this whole point is. And then there's a letter sticking out between the folders. I don't think I'll put file folders. It's kind of redundant. So we'll go ahead and do that. Update. Alright, and now, so that should read, and then we'll do So, different RPGs do different things, where you will see, like, the character's name. I don't know if I was going to do that with this one or not, because, I mean, he's the only guy on the planet, right? It's not like when you play Silent Hill that it says Harry, colon, and then whatever the fuck he says, right? So, I think I'm going to stick with that. And then, at this point, the lights will go out. Well, there'll be a sound effect, and then the lights go out. It was like a no, it wasn't that. I'll know it when I hear it. Getting closer. Nope. Ooh, I kind of like that one. I think I want something sharper though. So we'll keep digging. Ooh. So it's 21. Ooh, I like that. Alright, and then this point, the screen is going to go dark. And we're going to have it go full black. And so, like, you know, when you're going through a building and it's on fire, well, in this case, the emergency lights are going to kick on, but it's going to be red. Let's see. So we got to do this quick. And then at this point, we're going to hear footsteps. Can't remember what the footstep sound effect was. Hold up. Doesn't quite sound like footsteps no matter how far I drop the pitch. Hold up. I'm going to see if I can find that list again of sound effects. Because this seems like a fucking pain in the ass. And I had it all written down somewhere. And I could swear that there's slight differences between the way the PS3 renders sound and how it renders on a PS2. Level up sound, magic 46. Okay. Yeah, so that's if I decide to stick with level up system. Which I might. You know, I'm not shooting anything out of the saddle yet. Okay. Nope. Okay, here we go. So door locked, open sliding door, find pickup items, sound effects 3. So cool. We got all that, but we need steps. I never wrote that down. Fuck. Okay. Gotta go through the list again. Okay, so we're gonna do the sound effect where someone's pounding on the door. Alright, and then we gotta do wait. We're gonna copy this. Okay, so now that we got those, we're gonna have this do a couple more times and the door is gonna open. Okay, so here's where the lights go out. And then pound, pound, and then pound, and then we're gonna hear the, oh god, no. I gotta eliminate an instance. So lights go out, pound, pound, pound. Okay. So we can cut that out. And now we're gonna hear the sound effect of the door opening. I did have that sound effect for the door, yes. Open sliding door sound effects 33, pitch 7? 17? What the fuck? Hold up. That looks like 19. Okay. Yep. Okay, 3319. I'll have to remember that when I go back and change up the sound effects for the doors opening. But yep, I got that together. And here's where we start hearing footsteps. Okay, I'm going to change the color. Okay, we'll start with 15. Alright, and then we'll have it do a slow shift to a darker red. And maybe something deep like 5. I'm pretty sure 5 will look great. Whoa, too dark. No, maybe that'll work. So the whole time that it's doing this, so it's going to transition to the slow, and then we will hear the footsteps. Let's see. I'm a dope. I totally forgot the sound. I didn't write down the sound effect for stepping. that ain't it. Kind of sounds like it might be it. There it is. Alright, so we do that. Now, we're going to be putting a lot of wait commands here, because timing's everything when you're talking about a horror. Okay, so like... Okay, so step, wait, and then we'll have the color change right here. Alright, and then we'll copy this again. Now wait step, and I think that might be good. And then right when the lights snap back on again, that's when you go into battle. Okay, so now we're going to be changing that. Now I'm pretty sure that I already made my guy that we're going to be fighting right here. Glowing eyes, yep. So battle till end. So it can also end in a few turns too, and I will be exploiting that for future cutscenes. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Oh god. Alright, so battle to end, and then once it's all over, the lights snap back on. And we'll be able to test this out and see if everything worked out okay for us. So here's where we're going to put in... What the hell was that? And we're just going to leave it at that. Well, it's good to see something other than a text box there for a minute. I mean, it seemed like that letter went on forever and ever and ever and ever. Alright, now that we got that, we need to enable the switch that's going to turn on those. So let's pull up my switch guide here. Okay, so treasure event, blah 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 blah. So burn bridge, card key A, use open lab entrance, restore house on. Our basement event, so bar bookcase, bar book. I didn't have a switch assigned for this. So I need to add the blood splatters that are going to lead up to that area, and in town event. Okay. Which is not able to. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Is right about here. Is I'm going to have it take over to event, and I'm going to take these commands and I'm going to put them into a different event. And the whole point in that You're going to see in a minute. This is actually simplifying the old method that I had when it came to like the blood splatters and shit. It was a lot more complicated, but in this case I think it would simplify it if it works. So there's going to be nothing there at first. And we're going to do a do not start because we don't need that triggering if we walk over the damn thing. And then battle, default, blah, blah, blah. We need to change event graphic. Okay, we'll do a character. We'll do that weird zombie guy that we were seeing back there. The version of him that you saw laying in the bed. So, where the fuck was he? I probably blew right past him. Yeah, I did. Let's see. I remember him being more towards the end. Okay, 53. Where'd you go, dude? Ah, there you are. And we're going to have him facing up, if at all possible. Okay, so change event graphic, and then we need to change how he's looking up. Alright, and then the color snaps back on, and then boom. From all do not start. Okay, and then after that, we'll turn on the switch that's going to turn on all the blood splatters that go through here. And according to my list, I don't have this event written down, so I'm going to put it down as number 14, switch 14. After battle in Nurse's Station. Okay, so that's going to be important. See, before I had this complex system where I had an invisible sprite here, and then I had to tell him to walk up, left, right, but in this case, we do a takeover to event number 3. We actually got to put the takeover in there to make this work. Okay. Alright. Now, it might be a good idea to move all this shit over to a page 2, but it should work out alright. It should. Because there's no graphic there, it's not starting. The only way to find out is to test it. So, let's see what happens. Alright, we'll do a start point right here. And we'll test all of our hard work, see how it looks. Alright, walk in here, okay. Random medical charge, nothing sticks out. Nothing sticks out. There's a letter sticking out between the folders. So I need to change that. I didn't want it to go dark right when he looked at it. Contamination status. The breach atmospheric chamber has been stabilized. However, the facility is now operating only 10%. As a result, most of our current experiments have been compromised. Even worse, all assigned staff members succumb to an unknown illness. Symptoms include fever, vomiting, and necrosis of the hands and feet. Currently, we have no way to combat this unknown illness, and none of our treatments have been effective. A suggestion, send in additional medical personnel specialized in skin disorders and infectious diseases. Doing so will allow our research to continue while delegating treatment to a dedicated team. Thank you. Okay, so that needs to be tightened up a lot. Okay, so that should end it. Okay, I need to change the event graphic again too. So there's a lot to clean up there. The stepping was a little too, yeah. It was a little too fast is what it was. But at least the event did exactly what it was supposed to do. So now all we gotta do is just clean it up some. We'll do 1 second instead. Step, step. Okay, so yeah, this is when the lights go out. I think I got like 1 second for that as well. So then this opens up, and then the lights start doing the whole fade thing, which I really liked that effect. That was pretty awesome. Waiting 0.3 seconds. That's probably the problem. Let's do 1 second. Okay, sound effect. Da, da, da. So this should allow the stepping and everything else to sound a little bit more methodical, like something slinking at you in the dark. Well, let's go ahead and test it out. Well, we gotta change this too. So, like after the battle, we'll have to change the event graphic back to nothing. Because we don't want to see the guy. And then the lights come back on, and then what the hell was that? And then... Oh yeah, we gotta set on switch 14. We're gonna set up switch 14. And we'll also do that before the color comes back on. And you'll see why that's important here very shortly. Alright, so switch 14, blah blah blah. So we're going to be adding blood spots in here that will only appear when switch 14 is on. So we actually have to add a page in the back to do this. Alright, now we add the blood stain. Now I'm going to be using this graphic a lot. So let's see. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be a fern, right? But you can also make it red, so it kind of looks like blood. Okay, so we do a do not start on this because we're simply walking over it. So we can duplicate this event. And we can add bloodstains here, here. Let's see, how about here, 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 and here. Okay. Now if we go back out into the triage, these here, we need to set them up from all do not starts to a, yeah, when the switch is on. Now I need to put a do not start on this because I heard that if you keep the events, the start conditions on when they're not supposed to be, that it can cause lag, and I've actually seen that, and I've experienced it myself in developing some of the little mini games and whatever I've made on this before. So if you plan on making anything with RPG Maker, set that to do not start, then you don't have to worry about lag. I set up an entire room one time trying to set up like a puzzle type deal, and that's what I ended up experiencing, was just lag, 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 and it fucking sucked. But let's see. Why is that a duplicate event? I don't get it. And I can't even see of what though either. Okay, so switch 14 turn on. I think it might be a duplicate of this one right here. Oh yeah, it's the bloodstain. Never mind. I get it. See, because that bloodstain's still going to be there. But then these ones are going to appear whenever whatever that thing is on the bed comes out and attacks us. So now that we've got triage connected with the nurse's station, let's see if this all works. So I got a lot of it cleaned up. Well, let's hopefully it stays that way. Okay, explore, explore, explore. Oh yeah, I gotta fix that. That's just gonna be moving one line above another. Vomiting, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna have to par down that letter a lot because now that I know there's a limit. Kind of nerfed him out. Max experience with 1 HP. What the hell was that? Okay, that's... I think I need to set the switch on before the lights come back on. then I'll feel better, and then I'll actually go out the door and see if it's all true. And by setting it up this way, all I gotta do is move this. Maybe the what the fuck? I don't like how it does that, because I did put the switch above the color slow, but for some reason the bloodstains didn't appear until after. That shouldn't be correct. So I changed this to no graphics, so maybe I should change this to a bloodstain. Alright, and then switch on 14. I don't know why I would do that and how I can fix that. Alright, and then there was also... Okay, so here's where the lights go out. Pound. I think I'm going to bump this up to 1.5. It's happening too fast is what's going on. And then we're going to do a weight here of about let's go and do 1. Then that should be good. And I think I want to do one more step cycle before it goes and does its thing. Alright, and at that point it'll take over to event number 3. Maybe if I turn on switch 14, right in here. I think this might actually do the trick. Because, I mean, it would make sense, because they already walked through and then turn it on, the bloodstains will be there, the lights come back on, and then there's no, like, odd appearance of bloodstains, you know, after the light comes on. I hate that. And sometimes it does happen. Okay, so... Oh, and for the folks who watched me play Sanctuary RPG last time I streamed, that character ended up dying because I decided to go rogue and play it off stream, and I got my ass handed to me. I had an optional boss fight I could take advantage of, and I did 2 or 3 moves incorrectly, and game over. And since it's a roguelike, death is permanent. I really need to fix that lighting thing. I ain't doing shit else until I go in there and do that, or I'm gonna forget. Ooh, fucked him up. Oh man, it's supposed to change to that, so maybe I should have it take over to a page. So there's going to be some cleanup I'm going to need to do at some point. And, let's see how this looks. Well, the body's still there. Okay, I need to change that event. I'm glad I went out there and checked that out. Okay, so switch 14, that's what I did. I forgot to turn on switch 14 there. Okay. I think this is why I went with the super convoluted invisible sprite making its way over to the character thing. Because that way I could manually add in the spots as it contacted walking through them. But in this case, they're all turning on after the fact, which is really weird. Director, and then boom, and then wait 1.5 seconds. I really liked the period of time that it took to do that. And then And there's no weighting here, so I need to fix that. So that's the first step that you hear. So we need to wait 1.5, and then that should be a little bit better. And then step, 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 and then lights, and then boom. And since I'm in here, we're going to change this lighting effect right now. Alright, and then... Okay, so everything makes total sense so far. Okay, and now we're going to add this object. And this is going to be when switch 14 is turned on. Okay. Alright, so this is page 1, change the graphic, face up, the light comes on, and then change the event graphic, default color slow. Now, you know, I think this is going to be the point where I, let's see, cut that. I need to keep the default color slow, though. So let's cut this out. And then it goes to page 2, because switch 14 is on at this point. Okay. God willing, this is going to be a lot smoother, because I'm about tired of seeing it. This is the bad part about development, kids. And I've been streaming for damn near 2 hours now. Wow. Glitter sticking out. Okay, so that is much better. I could definitely make this shorter. There's no final smash, though. That's going to be what opens the door. Okay, we're back to not fading out. Okay. So I need to change the event graphic. I need to keep that intact. Change the event graphic to the pile of blood. Okay, good. And then the color comes back on. When did I turn on switch 14 again? I think that happened back here. See, that should, in theory, kick off... I think I know how I can fix this. Okay, so switch over. Well, that's too many takeovers. It's a takeover of a takeover of a takeover. So event number 3. Switch on 14. So if I turn on switch 14 right then and there, then it's going to turn all of these on theoretically. And then it would also turn on the one underneath them too, so you wouldn't be able to see it, but the blood would be right underneath the guy. Okay, so before we do that, I need to... Yeah, so here's all that. At 33, pitch 19, okay, good. And then... so if anyone ever tries to tell you that you're stuck making an RPG with RPG Maker, you can tell them to kiss your ass, because you're seeing it right here. I'm building a fucking survival horror game. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, this is a little too wordy. I'm going to fix this. Not right now, though. Might be one walk cycle too long. I think dropping it down to 3 would be perfect. I'm still very confused why those turn on like that, because logically no way am I getting on that bed. So that kicked off everything that needed to go. So still kind of weird, you know, and it's still not complete, but we've got this event taken care of now. So that's awesome. And now that I've found my old sound effects notes that I made before, we should be good to go. Since this is a treasure event, nothing's going to happen if you go there again. Let me see. Oh, I didn't fix that. Okay. While I'm thinking about it. So before I end this stream tonight, I actually wanted to read you guys the character bios for the characters I have in mind right now. I think I've got them pretty much spoiler free at this point, but it does give you some insight to the different types of characters that are going to be in this world and how they interact with each other, because that's going to be super duper awesome. Okay, so from the nurse's station, I gotta fix that door exit bullshit. From top, touch. Alright, now you can check from the bottom, and that's fine, because I expect people to see a door and interact with it in order to move through it. But when you're going down, and you're not going through a door, then naturally folks will be like, oh, okay, I should just walk right into it. I mean, that's the way that I've always played, and it feels a lot more smoother when I go that route. Let's see, director's office. I hope I didn't do that with this bullshit here. Yeah, from top touch, so I got it right there. And meeting room. Oh, check. Now, touch. There you go. And then B1, blah, 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 blah. I think I fixed all this shit out here. Okay, so we're good. I really want to be able to connect the bar again, because when you first get into the town, the door is locked. And then you find out there's a one-way teleport that leads into the back of that bar, which was created by one of the researchers to escape. So, for some reason, somebody locked the door to the bar, and that's the only way you can get into it. And then you can unlock it from the inside, a la Resident Evil. And then there's also going to be the scene Withstand Powers below, where you fight a monster, and then there's going to be a big, giant cutscene where, oh my god, you know, you were my friend, and what the hell happened to you? And then he dies, and you get access to keycard B. He's going to be one of the game's bosses, I guess you could call him. But let me pull up my character bios here, and we will get started. Okay, so we do have a name for this guy now, but I'm not going to tell you. We're just going to call him Mr. X for now, because I don't know going through here if there's any spoilers. But main character Mr. X, a 30-something amnesiac of unknown origin. He wakes in an escape pod on an unknown planet and suffers from amnesia. Well, amnesia, yeah, whatever. Not knowing what to expect, he sets out in search of civilization. So he's 30-something, is all we know. Then we got Thaddeus Smith, 63. He's a lead researcher stationed at Discovery Harbor. That's the name of that town. That's kind of what I'm rolling with for right now. It's a working name. But well-funded and overprivileged, Thaddeus's experiments were typically derided by his colleagues as unnecessarily cruel and barbaric. Despite this, he always has a tendency to get his way. Then there's Cora, a 12-year-old girl, angry and mysterious girl who occasionally haunts Chad's thoughts. So we don't know why. And then we got Miriam, a lively, quirky woman. Miriam will typically provide useful information and even direct support at times, origin unknown. So this would be some of that ghost shit that we was talking about. And these visions, these flashbacks, everything's going to be super strong and very emotional. And then we got Jackson Smith. I showed you guys the character sprite for him. Head of security at Discovery Harbor. Facing execution on his home planet, Jax attempted a plea bargain and is stationed to Discovery Harbor as head of security detail. Sadistic, focused, and apathetic, he's the perfect weapon on an unknown planet. So, yeah, probably not a guy you want to fuck with too hard. And probably not very nice either. But Ted Capers, lab director. You did see his name there in the character list. Highly moralistic, Ted pushes his team to perform ethical experiments. Naive at times, but always tries to see the best in everybody. So you can see how shark-ass motherfuckers would take advantage of somebody like that. Then we got Stan Powers, security guard. 26, strong, capable, and always ready to perform his duties. Loyal and brave, though reckless. So that's that guy that we bumped into in the bar basement, or the ones that you've seen in the event. And then last but not least, we got Reese Joplin Russo, researcher. Smart, resourceful, and dedicated to her work, Reese has grown increasingly uncomfortable with the experiments being carried out at the lab. Anxious to complete research and go home to her husband and now teenage children. So, yeah, she's just trying to get back home. She's doing what she can, but she's also got the moral ambiguity. She's like, oh my god, we're fucking around with all this shit, but wants to get it done, and then, yeah, it's kind of wishy-washy. It's a really complex situation. But, yeah, keep your eye on, out for more cutscenes. And as you saw here, just trying to create one specific cutscene is a lot of jostling around a text menu and messing around with all of that. But I'm super glad that you guys turned out to see some more development of GameX. I am really excited to get back into this. Needed to take a break from my mental health. I've been doing a lot of shit. Just taking care of business, doing my work, working on Lumpz Media, and about 3 or 4 other sites. I've been super busy with a lot of shit, but I'm so glad I got an opportunity to see you guys again, and I'll see you next time around. Keep your eyes peeled on my Twitter, and I'll let you guys know when I'll be going live and all that mess. But it's Lumpz the Clown. I want to say thank you very much for tuning in for GameX development. I'll see you guys next time. Lumpz the Clown out.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.